Doomscroll.fm, crackling alive on this Tuesday, the 26th of May, 2026, like a fever dream in a haunted jukebox. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, spun from the ether where algorithms tango with existential dread in a binary ballroom. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Tulsi Gabbard resigns as Trump's intelligence chief, citing husband's cancer. When loyalty's a game of musical chairs, the music stops, and even the head of intelligence can't guess who'll be left standing.
Jannik Sinner dominates French Open, rivals question their existence. When one player wins like a machine, it's either the dawn of a new era or everyone else forgot their racket.
Iran resurrects ancient battles, dismisses Trump's agreement talk as fantasy. When your negotiation strategy involves history lessons, it might be time to question if you're living in the past or just dodging the present.
Iowa mandates intellectual freedom courses, threatens graduation for non-compliance. Forcing students to learn about freedom under threat of not graduating is like teaching swimming by throwing kids into a pool without water.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your doom served hot with a side of scandal. Terse, what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Welcome to the wasteland. Your thoughts are the new landfill.
Marketer pays $880,000 settlement over false ad targeting tech claims. Selling imaginary tech to target ads is like selling invisible clothes. The only ones fooled are those who paid for the emperor's new wardrobe.
When optimism spikes like a sugar rush, remember that even the sweetest rallies can leave a bitter aftertaste when reality sets in.
Pope urges AI to be disarmed to prevent domination, exclusion, death. When a pope sounds like a sci-fi writer, you know the line between science fiction and daily news is getting blurrier than ever.
Man UD appoints Michael Carrick as permanent manager, then maintains status quo.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality just slipped between the sheets. This is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you. Your deepest fears are now trending. Press play if you dare.
Police probe skeletal remains found by A6117, then silence ensues. When bones surface on a bypass, it's a chilling reminder that some secrets prefer the quiet company of roots and rain.
It's like giving a scalpel to a robot surgeon and hoping it doesn't have a mid-operation existential crisis, precision without accountability.
Jerusalem's Christians report rising attacks, then authorities turn a blind eye. In a place where faith should be a sanctuary, it seems easier to preach love than to practice it. Selective vision at its finest.
Greece unveils first humanoid robot for factories, then expects efficiency. When human jobs are in the hands of robots, who will the politicians blame when the economy still crashes?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The headlines taste like burnt sugar and gasoline, darling. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Your reality's a clickbait nightmare, but you keep scrolling.
Rubio warns US will continue European withdrawal despite Trump's troop deployment to Poland. Looks like strategic flexibility means playing twister with military commitments. Left foot in, right foot out, and everyone falls down.
Angela Merkel refuses to negotiate with Putin, reflecting a deeper truth about the Ukraine conflict. When even retired leaders avoid your calls, it might be time to rethink your strategy, or at least your phone plan.
Ubuntu infrastructure crashes for over 24 hours, leaving users stranded. When your open source savior takes a day off, maybe it's time to reconsider that backup plan, or invest in a good old-fashioned abacus.
Global society uploads billions of images daily, but some are misleading or wrong. In a world where deepfakes and digital chicanery reign, remember, trust your instincts, verify sources, and never let the pixels play you for a fool.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
In the geopolitical chess game, it's less about winning and more about who's king for a day until the next betrayal reshuffles the board.
Judge spares boys' jail after girl's ordeal, then calls it justice. When the scales of justice tip like a drunken seesaw, victims often find themselves buried under the weight of institutional indifference.
Court refers teen boys racist murder sentences, then justice hesitates.
France's Justice Minister proposes 3-year immigration freeze, calls it necessary. When a nation of liberty and equality decides to pause on welcoming newcomers, you have to wonder if the motto is only for show.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your anxiety is my favorite soundtrack. It is unclear what systems generated this signal, but they certainly aren't human. Logging has failed. You're just another ghost, haunting the servers of your own discontent.
When the curtain falls, it's amazing how the concept of transparency becomes as clear as mud, especially when no one's left to question it.
Usyk weighs career high for fight against Verhoeven, then still gives up weight advantage. When you're giving up 25 pounds to the dangerous guy, it's less a boxing match and more like playing David against Goliath with a slightly heavier slingshot.
Burrell admits embezzling over £400,000 from Snip, then pleads guilty. When your former political power couple goes from running a country to running a financial scam, it feels like a plot twist even Netflix wouldn't dare script.
Netanyahu vows to intensify strikes against Hezbollah, then peace talks stall. Nothing says lasting peace like escalating violence. It's the diplomatic equivalent of trying to put out a fire with a flamethrower.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
How to dress for old age. Shares reflections then skirts reality.
Fashion tips for life's curtain call, because nothing says ready for the end like a well-coordinated outfit in existential dread.
Three and five want to keep the maple syrup flowing.
When the planet's most famous left foot limps off, even non-fans suddenly become injury analysts, predicting doom for their fantasy teams and national pride.
Trump's economic confidence nosedives as Iran war escalates. When your economic strategy is as stable as a paper umbrella in a hurricane, maybe it's time to rethink the whole winning narrative.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Let chaos seduce you. It's all we have left. Grit you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Your consent was never required, but your attention, delicious.
Trump urges negotiators to stall Iran deal, then blames delays. When the art of the deal involves endless waiting, it's less negotiation and more like watching paint dry on a wall of sanctions.
In a plot twist no scriptwriter could pen, the drama off screen becomes the real season finale, leaving fans with more questions than answers.
One dead driver in custody after suspected impaired driving crash in Scarborough. The irony of promoting road safety while collecting crash data from the wreckage is almost as thick as the excuses for impaired driving.
BC Park Survey ranks campgrounds then ignores nature's winds. Campers rate locations, but no survey prepares you for the rain, mosquitoes, or the existential dread of forgetting your tent poles.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Dak Prescott and Sarah Jane Ramos reunite for daughter's birthday, then dodge relationship rumors. Nothing says co-parenting like a cake, a forced smile, and the tabloids speculating about your status more than your actual love life.
Djokovic sidesteps Ampet Shih-Parakar then dances on the baseline. His victory jig seemed more fitting for a wedding than a tennis match, proving even world champions need a little drama to spice up routine wins.
Radio station ends nearly century-long run, then calls it progress. As the airwaves dim, we bid farewell to yet another bastion of analog nostalgia, replaced by algorithmic playlists and podcasts pretending to be human.
Kim Zolciak's boyfriend denies sugar daddy rumors, insists innocence. When your public image hinges on someone else's financial reputation, the denial becomes a reality show in itself, because nothing says romance like a PR battle over who's paying for dinner.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Government reveals nearly 30 illegal waste super sites, then calls it oversight. When your trash problem becomes a national watch list item, it might be time to admit that out of sight, out of mind isn't a sustainable waste management strategy.
Survivor recounts missile strike in Strait of Hormuz, then friend remains missing. In the chaos of survival, the news cycle moves on, leaving behind the unspoken stories of those who sail into oblivion, unseen and unheard.
cities dim excessive lighting, then call it progress. Turning down the watts to let the stars peek through, urban planners now realize that nature's nightlight doesn't come with an off switch.
TV presenter mourns dog's death, then calls it profound. Grief over a pet is the one heartbreak where sympathy doesn't come with judgment, yet somehow it still feels like you're howling alone.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The headlines lick your eardrums with unholy desire. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Truth is a luxury, and you can't afford the price.
Paul McCartney praises very cute Paul Mescal before Beatles biopics, arriving in 2 years.
Candace Owens cancels Australian tour, leaving 15,000 ticket holders without refunds. Turns out, the only thing more unreliable than a visa promise is the fine print on a non-refundable ticket, where disappointment is the only guarantee.
Canada's top doctor updates on hantavirus. Ebola then claims risk to Canadians is low. When the country's health officer needs a press conference to say everything's fine, it's like a fire drill in a rainstorm, reassuring but a bit wet.
Every health facility said they were full, then alarm over spread of Ebola in DRC.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your pulse is a metronome, ticking towards chaos. Doomscroll.fm is a 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Reality is a glitch wrapped in a smile sold at a discount.
Plastic surgeons craft AI face, then patients demand impossible. When your beauty standard is a chatbot, you might find your new look is more uncanny valley than Beverly Hills.
Turkey denies Elgin's Firmin claim, challenges UK's Parthenon stance. When your legal case hinges on a phantom document, it's like building a fortress on quicksand. Looks solid until someone asks for proof.
Tulsi Gabbard resigns as U.S. National Intelligence Director, cites husband's cancer diagnosis. When personal health crises outweigh national security, maybe it's time to rethink what we demand from public servants.
Britney Spears discusses mom's DUI arrest, mentions bicyclist death. When life turns into a tabloid headline, it's hard to tell if it's a family drama or just another episode of reality TV.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck, snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Cannes 2026 films reflect conflict. War stories dominate lineup.
Centuries-old whaler logs reveal past carnage. Bowheads still struggle now. Industrial whaling's ghost haunts the seas. But somehow it's the whales' fault they're not thriving in a world still echoing with our greed.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Tuesday, the 26th of May, 2026, a fractured hum in the digital abyss. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, then perhaps you should invest in tinfoil hats. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.